Hi guys, I'm Simon from Ridge Monkey, and today we're going to do a fantastic little turkey with bubble and squeak. It's coming up to Christmas now, so let's get started. So what I've bought from home, I've pre-prepared this, so minimal effort on the bank. I have got some vegetables, pre-cooked vegetables. In there, I've got some parsnips, some potatoes, some Brussels sprouts, some carrot, a little bit of samphire, just for a bit of colour, a bit of saltiness. And then in this bag, I've got a turkey fillet. Now that turkey fillet has been put into the bag. I bought it ready cut from the supermarket, but onto there, I've actually put some sage and onion stuffing mix. So it's almost like a breadcrumb over the top, just to give you those nice little stuffing flavours. So what we're going to do, no further ado, get it started to cook. So into both pans, you'll see I've got both pans on. I'm going to put some oil. Now the pans are preheated. And then into the larger pan, and we're just going to wait for that to melt. Now that butter is going to start caramelising and add richness to the bubble and squeak, and that's what we're going to be cooking in there. Now the reason that I've pre-cooked it all is just for ease, so you don't have to cook it on the bank. It's there, it's ready to go straight into this pan. Now as you'll see here, it is quite a cold day, so it does take a little bit longer sometimes for the pans to heat up, so just be aware of that. You do want that butter fully melted before we're going to add anything into there. Now the other ingredient I've got, as you'll see here, cranberry sauce. Everybody loves a bit of cranberry sauce with their turkey. What I've also made, I've just made, using a little bit of gravy powder, boiled the kettle, I've just made myself a little mug of gravy, okay? So we're going to, no need to boil it, you all know how to make that. Oh, that's all spitting up nicely. Now, as I've said before, I am a chef, so butter is one of my 5 a day, so I never skimp on butter. If you don't want to put it in, you don't have to, but you're going to lose a lot of that richness that you're going to get. So into the pan, we're now just going to add these vegetables. So there you go. Now, as you can see, what's going to start happening with those, they're all going to start, you're going to get a nice crunch on the outside of those vegetables, but also they're just going to start mashing down. They've been cooked, so they're really, really tender. And the good thing is with bubble and squeak, you can add whatever you like. There's no recipe for bubble and squeak. Whatever vegetables you enjoy, you can put into there. Whatever you got left over, you can put into there. You want a bit of red cabbage in there, put it in. So while that's cooking, what we're going to do is get the turkey. Now that oil's nice and warm in there. You can already see the smoke coming off that. And as I said, this has already been dusted in a little bit of sage and onion stuffing mix. Now I've just used the natural moistness from the turkey just to press that in and hold it. You don't need to use any eggs, etc. to get that to stick. And all we're doing with that, we're just going to cook it gently. Now while that's cooking away, we're going to add the gravy into the middle pot. But me being me, we're also going to add a good healthy dollop of this cranberry sauce into the gravy, and that's going to give it a lovely little sweet taste. You're going to get all of those flavours running through the gravy, so with every mouthful that you're going to take. Now I know you're all used to watching my videos now, and I always do go on about doing that little bit of prep at home, but as you see there, it's so easy. This is already done. All I've had to do is just make a little bit of gravy on the bank. The vegetables are already being cooked at home, and I did that because that's what I had for dinner last night. So I'm just actually cooking a little bit more while I'm doing something. I'm not spending hours in the kitchen just getting ready to go fishing. There you go, so you can see that, we'll turn that over, and that's starting to nicely cook. Now as I said, we're only on a low heat there. You don't want it too high, you don't want to burn that stuffing mix. We just keep that gravy mixing through as well. Now dishes like bubble and squeak are a great way of using leftovers. You know, there's very little wastage if you've overcooked the day before. keep little bits and pieces like this in a tub, so you can keep them in your fridge at home, and then after a couple of days and a couple of dinners, if you've got some vegetables left over, you then just make bubble and squeak. It's really that simple. As I said a second ago, there's no right or wrong recipe, so any vegetables can go into this. One of my staples at Christmas as well, bubble and squeak, because whenever you've got family and friends over for Christmas, there's always too much food, so you're always able to do this. You can really see that cooking now, all that butter's coated over the top of the vegetables. You start to get a nice little colour on those, and that's what we're looking for. And as it heats through, all those vegetables are going to start cooking down and actually turning and getting that legendary squeaking sound. That's why it's called bubble and squeak, because as you're cooking it, the air releases from underneath as it seals to the pan and you get these little squeaks. Now during the cooking process, I'm actually going to season this. Now I like a lot of black pepper in my bubble and squeak, but I've got whole black peppercorns in a grinder and I've got some pink rock salt. Now I'm never without these when I go on the bank. The grinders keep everything fresh, they're really easy to use. Right, there you go guys, as you're going to see now, the bubble and squeak's finished cooking. Now you've got that lovely caramelisation onto there, everything started to break down and turn it into almost like a little mash. So you've got all of those flavours working through that dish. And you've got your turkey escallop. Now if you remember, we've coated that at home in the sage and onion stuffing mix. That's almost come out like a little schnitzel. Rather than having breadcrumbs on there, you've got that sage and onion stuffing. It's keeping and it's absorbing all those juices coming out of the turkey. You've got that nice little caramelisation over there. And then to finish it all off, our cranberry gravy. All that's left to do now is plate up. We've got the bubble and squeak. We're going to put that into the middle of the plate. Now once again with my meals, it'll feed you if you're really hungry, or it'll feed a couple of people. If you want to feed a couple of people, then just use 2 escallops instead. Turkey escallop over the top. And we're just finishing it off with a little bit of that cranberry gravy, just so that flavour, the sweetness is going to come out of that cranberry sauce and really complement the sweetness of all those vegetables. Here we go guys, the finished dish. We've got a lovely bubble and squeak made with all the vegetable leftovers that I've had from last night's dinner, which is exactly how bubble and squeak should be made. I've got a sage and onion coated turkey escallop that we've literally pan fried just to seal in all those flavours, and then a stunning little cranberry gravy, just in time for Christmas.